Hi students, welcome to your research assignment for this class. So the purpose of this research assignment is to take in all the information that you now know about yourself and to take in the occupations that maybe have been suggested to explore based on your results, and then to narrow down and really research in depth one specific occupation. So again, the goal of this class is to really learn the tools and the pieces of career exploration. And so what you're going to be doing in this assignment is you're going to be starting to research different occupations, find information, compare that with what you now know about yourself in terms of your skills, your values, your personality, your interests, and then really decide, hey, now I know a lot of information about this career. Is it something that I want to further explore, and that's my next actions to take after this class, or is it something that's not a good fit for me and I'm going to put it aside and explore something else, maybe something related, maybe something completely opposite. So again, the goal of this assignment is to walk you through that process of looking at information, exploring different parts of an occupation, and then deciding whether it's something to keep going with or something that it's not a fit for you. I encourage you to try and research something that maybe you don't know that much about. That's the goal of this class, is to come across careers that maybe you're not too familiar with and to learn the tools that you need to explore that career. So let me walk you through the document. And so this is your career research assignment. You're going to click on this link and it's going to open up a Word document. And so you're going to be going to two specific websites to really look at information that you can find on these two specific websites. But in part one, and there's 5 parts to this assignment, part one, you're going to be going back to your strong profile report. And you're going to be looking at the careers that were suggested to you based on your results. And you're going to look at those different occupations, use the websites to research those occupations, kind of get a general sense of what that occupation is. And then the ones that you find of interest, you're going to type those in and say, okay, well, I'm going to keep those on my list of further exploration. So part one and part two is really going to the different reports that you got, the Strong report, the Myers-Briggs report, and occupations related to your skills. And so these were all things that were in the previous modules that are going to be kept open so that you can go back and review. And you can look at your results and you can look at your assignments and you can say, oh, okay, these were careers that I might want to further explore when I get later on in the research assignment. So the goal, and you'll see here, it says review the list of suggested careers from the Skill Scan Group's handout in Module 1. List the occupational areas that you are interested in, and maybe any other additional occupations that you'd like to learn more about. So the goal of part one and part two is to just start listing out occupations that you want to further explore and conduct some more thorough research. So again, it's getting a general sense, and the goal is to research as much as you can. You know, if you've ever bought a car or you're going to buy a car, you probably want to spend a lot of time in looking at various car models. You don't want to go with just, hey, this is the one car that I'm going to look at and that's it. Do I like Toyotas? Do I like Hondas? Do I like 2-door? Do I like 4-door? Am I looking for an SUV? Am I looking for gas mileage? You want to look at all these different pieces, the price, has it been previously owned? And so that's the same with careers. You're going to look at all these different careers, all these different occupations, and for the purpose of this assignment, then you're going to research one more in depth. So part one, part two, and part three, you're going to have to go back to previous modules. And then when you get to part 5, you're going to settle in on one specific occupation that you're going to research. And again, you're going to go to these outside websites, which I'm going to go to in a second, and you're going to specifically look at one occupation in detail, and you're going to summarize and provide information on the nature of the work, the tasks that are performed, the education required for that job, programs that might be available in San Diego that can help you prepare for that career, What are the typical earnings? And all of that information can be found on these websites. So let's go to those websites to show you where to find that information. So the first one is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And so I'm going to put in a specific occupation. Let me put in school teacher. So maybe that's an occupation that you're going to look at. So again, you're going to click on that link. And here's the information that you're going to be summarizing and reading and researching. What are some of the duties that they do? Again, that's the tasks that they do. And so you're going to be reading that and summarizing. The type of work environment that they're in, or their work schedules, are also something to be very aware of. How to become one is kind of your pathway, that education that's needed behind what you're going to do. And so then if it's asking you, hey, this is the education that's needed, what sort of programs are locally that help me get to that education, you can also look at that information as well. So for information about teacher preparation programs in your state, visit teach.org. So that'll take you to another website to then look up programs in the area or in California that are going to help you prepare for that occupation. Pay is also a piece of the research assignment that you're going to look at. And so that's pay, as well as under this link, state and area data. So that you can also go to this occupational profiles link, because again, you're going to get data regarding your state and local area information. So you're going to click on that link, and you're going to look up school teacher. You're going to put in, let's put in San Marcos, California, hit search. And you're going to put in here, let's see, elementary school teachers. Let's just go to the first one. And it's going to give you some information here. The typical wages, so the median is kind of the average range of what elementary school teachers make in this area annually. And again, median is kind of about the average middle point of what teachers make. The employment outlook, so if you look, there's an increase by 7% for California. Annual projected job openings. Education is a big piece because a lot of teachers are retiring in the next 10 to 15 years, and so there's going to be a need for teachers in the next 10 to 15 years. Here's where you can also find local training. So if it talks about education, typically what's needed to be an elementary school teacher, and then find local training. If you click on that link, that'll take you again to information to look at what's needed in order to get into that field. So all those pieces of information you're going to be researching for this assignment. And part 5 is the actual report where you're going to be going more in depth into a specific occupation, and you're going to be providing this information here under part 5. If you have any questions along the way, if you can't find the information, if you're questioning the information, reach out to me. Let me know. Say, hey Dana, I couldn't find the professional association, or I'm not sure if this is accurate information. Because the websites can take you to some links, and you might just kind of maybe say, hey, I got lost along the way. Email me, let me know. I want to make sure you're researching as much of accurate information as possible. All right, have a great day, and if you have any questions, let me know.